Hi guys, today going to be building on last week's build of the modular house and going to be adding some walls and scaffolding to make it a bit more playable. And to start with, going to grab some underfloor insulation board, and this appears to basically just be a flat styrofoam. And going to try using this as a base this time instead of foam core, because I'm curious to see how badly it warps. So cutting a long rectangle and then beveling the edges slightly. And these are going to be the basis for some small walls we're going to make. Then, once we're happy with the shape, we're going to take another strip and cut bricks out. And these can be a little bit varied in shape. You probably want some bigger ones and some smaller ones at the same time. And then we're going to kind of chip away at the edges, pull away, cut, bevel, just make them a bit more organic. And we're going to do this with each of the bricks. And can also use a tinfoil ball to push some texture on and help kind of crush the edges down. We're then going to line them up and glue them down onto the base, and then build another layer on top of that. And I found 3 to 4 layers was about the right height, but it depends on how high you want your wall to be anyway. And once we've got the main body built up, we're going to take some half-size bricks and glue them in a double layer along the top. And this gives the impression that we actually did the double layer all throughout the thing, when in reality we just did it on the top. And using a mini for scale comparison, and that looks about the right height. Next we're going to get rid of a bit of the blockiness that's still left on the bricks, so we're going to go in with a sharp knife and just trim the edges where they're still looking a bit too square. And you can also use this to remove any blobs of glue that have seeped through the edges. And the benefit to doing it this way is you can also make curved walls quite easily, as well as any other weird shapes. Next we're going to add some scaffolding to the outside of the building. So we're going to make 2 pieces, one smaller one and one longer one. So with some balsa wood, just going to start trimming long strips, and these will be the kind of main supports for the structure. And to start with, we're going to glue some H-frames. So we have a kind of plank of balsa wood and 2 of the kind of rectangular posts, and we're just going to glue those together at the same height, and then do the same for the other side. And this is where it helps to use the grid on your cutting mat as a guideline, because you want the top level of the plank to be level on both sides. Then we're going to trim some more of the thinner planks. And these are going to sit between the 2 H-frames and give us a nice rectangular basis that we can use to attach the planks in between. And you can go as neat or as wonky as you want here, or just completely miss a plank if you want to. It really depends on who is making the scaffolding and how long they wanted it to last. And you can also use these to double as plank bridges if you want to, or if you need kind of something linking another building to another one. And at this stage, just go around, and anywhere you think it needs a plank, just glue a plank. And I added a few on one side, so it was kind of like a crude ladder. And then a few strips underneath on one side, as well as a guide plank on that side as well. And once again, testing for scale with a mini. I then did the exact same process to make a smaller piece of scaffolding that will act as a stepping platform to get up to the higher piece. And make sure it's accessible. Very good. And adding a few more support strips to make it a bit more interesting. Next, we're going to mix up our basing paste, and this is going to be 2 grades of cork flock, which was done on far too windy a day, and PVA, as well as a few spoonfuls of black gesso. and then mix that together in 5 times normal speed. And then apply all over the base of the walls. Now because it's dry stone walling, it wouldn't have mortar in the middle, but if you wanted to, you could put it in the cracks as well, and make a regular stone wall. If you applied it over the bricks themselves, it would make them look a bit more crumbly, which might be the effect you're looking for. And I mixed up way too much of the paste, so using an oval of the styrofoam basing, and a few strips of bricks, I made a little extra piece of rubble. And while it's still wet, push a few tiny pebbles into the base as well. Then, paint everything with a coat of black gesso. And I'm using a smaller brush than I normally use here, just so I can get in all the cracks. Because without using the paste in between the bricks, there is a bit of space where the blue could show through. And when everything's dry, just mixing together a brown paint, and applying it all over everything. But it doesn't matter if you can't get it into deep recesses, because that's just going to make some nice shading later. And watering it down a little bit more, giving the same treatment to the wooden scaffolding. Ideally, you don't really want to paint your wood, you probably want to stain it instead. But I find adding the gesso just nicely seals it together and gives it a bit more strength to it. And once the brown paint's dried, going in with a mid-grey and painting all the stonework, as well as the pebbles on the basing. Next, mixing together a pale tan colour and giving a heavy dry brush to all the pieces. And then watering it down again, and doing the same process with the scaffolding. Then, taking a large soft brush, we're going to give a light dry brush of pure white onto the stonework. And this started life as a makeup brush, but I've always found they make the best dry brushes. Now we want to catch all the details and bring it a bit closer to the grey it was before. And going a bit heavier on the top of the model than the sides to give the impression of lighting. Then I also decided to give a quick dry brush to the wooden scaffolding and try and give a bit more texture to it. And just really kind of pull out the edges of the wooden beams. Next we're going to give some washes. So with some very watered down black paint, we're going to go in and paint all the woodwork and bring it down to a darker colour, make it look more worn and aged. Then, watering down some green paint, we're going to go in and give a quick wash to the lower kind of 50% of the stone wall. And this is going to have the impact of just being like a faint moss growing through the stones. And then also using the green on just a few of the planks. where there is some growth or kind of mold going on there as well. And less really is more with this technique. And there we have it, a few more playable areas to expand the use of our house. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next week.